Hello, this is Paul Milligan for ISE Show TV. I'm joined here on the eve of ISE 2017 by the main man, Mike Blackman. Mike.
Thank you. Great to see you again, Paul.
And you. What can visitors to the show expect this year?
Well, certainly more exhibitors. I remember last year my theme was more. Every year the theme is more. So we have more exhibitors. We have 2 extra halls. The show has grown phenomenally. We went up by another 10% in floor space. We have a new educational zone. We found there was a lot of companies who are offering technology for the educational market, for meetings, for HR, etc. So we created the educational zone just next door here in the Elysium. We have our drone arena again, and that's in the new hall, Hall 14. We have an immersive technology feature here, working with Holovis for that, and that's going to be phenomenal as well. Some really good experiences showing immersive AV technology, not just for rides and theme parks, but for industrial use as well.
Sure. I mean, a difficult part of my job is covering the many fields that the sort of Pro AV market covers. I'm guessing you had that same kind of issue.
Absolutely. What we're trying to do is actually try and identify what is state of the art, what is leading, what would be interesting for our attendees. So the first part is actually the exhibitors taking that over and showing what they've got, but we have to create some sort of editorial content as well and find interesting themes that we can add to this and show unbiased or impartial information.
Sure.
And that's what we look at. And obviously we listen to you as well. I read your articles and we try to say, okay, what is interesting? What could be of interest to our attendees?
Yeah, so I noticed you mentioned it earlier on, there is a AR, VR, MR zone this year. When new technology comes along, how difficult is it for you to say maybe it's a little bit early for this, or maybe this is the right time? How do you have that kind of conversation with your team?
Well, again, that's really good that we have a content team within ISE who are, they're journalists. They have journalistic experience and been in this market. So, I talk with them. Some things come to us. Some things are, just a case of reading what you're writing about, and then saying, okay, this is interesting. We know it's an up and coming theme, and then it's a case of how can we realize that? Is it possible? Are there enough companies in there or the right partners who can actually help us realize something like that? Sure. And that's a case of just talking to our exhibitors, talking to the press, trying to find out, who's leading edge on something like this.
Okay. And the decision you made last year to go to the 4 days is obviously back again this year.
Yes.
Do you feel you were justified in making that move last year?
Absolutely. One of the things that everything we do new at ISE usually takes 2 years to actually work. Yeah. And we said if we move to 4 days, it has to work on the first day, the first year. Yeah. So we did a lot to really push it, and we had better than anticipated results from that. So we think it's going to be even better this time. What's happening is ISE is growing at such a phenomenal rate in terms of attendees that trying to actually get them to get the quality they need with exhibitors and vice versa, we need to spread that out. And we were getting too crowded on the first 3 days. Sure. Day 2 here at the show was just, it was impossible. Yeah. Not only that, the fact that the show is so large, we have almost 1,200 exhibitors. You physically can't get around that in 4 days. So you have to really plan your visit, but we found more and more people need more time.
Yeah. I mean, every year I found myself writing, the show can't get any bigger, and it's proved me wrong year after year after year. So I think
the same.
I'm going to stop saying it. Without giving away any kind of official numbers or anything, how are the kind of numbers looking for this year? Are we going to be up, do we think?
We're going to be substantially up. I've been looking at the patterns this morning. What I can tell you is, as of now, we've already surpassed our pre-registration numbers, and they're above the total number from last year. Wow. As of now. So we get a substantial amount of people registering on site during the show. The numbers I looked at were earlier this morning. Yeah. The Monday before the show is always a big registration day. Yeah. And as I say, the people turn up who buy tickets on the door.
So people leave it late, and then there are people who just turn up on day one and...
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So we're expecting a nice big number again.
We are.
Fantastic. And, well, congratulations to you and your team.
Thank you. I mean, what I can tell you is that it's certainly, I think we're going to see at least 10% increase in attendance.
Wow.
At least.
I'm glad I hadn't said this year can't get any bigger than. Mike Blackman, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Paul.